Aloha mai kako, a komo mai curtain call, a program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. Alexander Academy Performing Company is presenting their annual spring performance. This year, it's a brilliant and beautiful adaptation by Alexander's artistic director, Amelia Nelson, of Shakespeare and Felix Mendelsohn's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Alexander Academy used to be exclusively a top ballet training institution, but over the past couple of years, under the inspired leadership of Executive Director Danelle Keenan and Ms. Nelson, the Academy has begun working in other performing arts, including contemporary dance and theater. This production lends itself marvelously to all of the talents in the Academy. It has 11 leads and 7 principals. Just as in the play, at the conclusion, Puck, Maya Ito, whose performance was so electric she would make the Energizer Bunny seem like a dead battery, closed the show along with the actor who played Wall and Snout, Emily Kermode, who recited that most famous speech that begins, quote, "If we shadows have thus offended," unquote, while Ms. Ito demonstrated balletically the meaning of the speech. The inclusion of the Rude Mechanicals as actors, not dancers, was a brilliant way to highlight the other disciplines the Academy has added to its training roster. As Bottom, Violet Fellerman handled this iconic role with clarity and understanding. The other mechanicals included Bertie Hammonds as Quince, Heidi Mellick as Flute, Saul Bridgeford as Snug, and Benjamin Kopf as Starveling. One of the tragedies of our time is the inability of some in society, and unfortunately political power, to recognize and honor the cavalcade of gender characteristics that any individual can be born with. In America, where athletes and athletics are church for many, why dancers, who are the greatest athletes, are feminized is beyond my comprehension. Try doing the leaps, turns, and lifts these men perform and tell me it's girly. Anyway, none of the dance programs have figured out a way to cure the stigma attached to boys in dance. So in this production, all of the lead males are played very well by young ladies. Oberon, Grace Wright, is thoroughly convincing as the conniving, jealous king of the fairies, and as Demetrius, Ava Fine, and Lysander, Ella Craft, fully embrace the acrobatics of male dancers, especially the leaps, as well as the combat these two have to perform in order to claim the prize, Helena. As the female lovers, I saw the Saturday evening performance with Sidney Rubugio as Hermia and Sky Rosenblad as Helena. Again, performed outstanding work from both of these young women. Ms. Rosenblad's scorned Helena pursued her loved one with desperation and commitment. Then, when the tables were turned by pesky Puck, and she became the object of both men's affections, Ms. Rubugio is the picture of confusion. Excellent work from both of these young women. Titania's fairies in waiting, Peas Blossom, Alea Phillips, Moth, Emily McCarger, Cobweb, Genevieve Kermode, and Mustard Seed, Chloe Sanders, had some stunning moments. But the one who steals this show is the transcendently beautiful Adele Fabio. From her entrance, demonstrating a series of snap turns worthy of any prima ballerina you can think of, she went on point with such ease you didn't notice. She was also an extremely facially expressive performer, and she used her arms as if she were doing a hula, and I mean that as a compliment. If she wants a career in an art Martha Graham described as a, quote, need, unquote, she could do it if she continues to train and grow at the level she seems to be capable of. Since this is a comprehensive dance school, they start the little ones very early, and they are always among the fan favorites. Here are a few images of the little darlings. The dancing was outstanding, and besides Ms. Watson and Ms. Nelson, the ones responsible were her assistant Absalom Figueroa and the rest of the teachers, Hallie Hunt, Audrey Billings, Laura Gutierrez, Carly Jo List, and Allison Swaney. Congratulations. Ms. Watson Keenan announced a capital campaign to build a new, approximately $8 million academy upcountry so the community organizations that were promised and denied, such a site by the Maui Arts and Cultural Center and by the King Keikalike Performing Arts Center, will finally have a place to perform without the crippling costs associated with the MAC and the unlawful administrative prohibition on the use of the King K space. Remember, the $35 million for that center did not come from the DOE budget. It was allocated from the General Fund Capital Improvement Program, and that center was always supposed to be a performance space for all the community-based performing arts organizations on Maui. Since the principal, Mark Elliott, who had the vision, left shortly after the opening of the building, and then the pandemic hit, amnesia, or perhaps conscious larceny, has overtaken the administration at the school, and Ms. Watson-Keenan, who told me that the school slammed the door on her and others who want to program the space, has decided to try to build her own space. It was clear the stage at Seabury can no longer support the size of Alexander's corps of 21 dancers, and if they want to grow their program, and we all know the organizational axiom, if you are not growing, you are moving toward entropy, then this is the only solution. I hope it won't be necessary, and this state-of-the-art best theater space in any public high school in America will be opened up to them and to other outstanding performing arts organizations on the island. Finally, besides providing world-class training in ballet, Alexander Academy of Performing Arts has a former theater and Hollywood costumier as its costume director. How many performing arts academies can tout that? Jennifer Oberg, along with her head seamstress, Elaine Gima, and 26 members of the costume shop and sewing hui have created beautiful wardrobe worthy of the quality of dance the Academy represents. I hear they are doing Swan Lake next year. Let's hope it will be at the King Keikalike Performing Arts. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Ahui ho!